Well, I feel super horrible because with my time and my management recently, I've done super well about getting back into streaming. Because just with all my university stuff and all that, it's I've been making the conscious effort of trying to be very good about my time. And originally when I planned this was supposed to be at 1 p.m. my time. It is now 1:22 about. Yo, is that the Mikey? Oh, frick, we love Mikey. What is going on? Guys, if you don't know who Mikey is, go consider checking out Mikey, because Mikey does fantastic art. I'm currently getting a little VOD related sketch done by them. So, anytime we see Mikey in chat, it's always a fun time. But yeah, let me swap over. Hopefully everything's working now. Everything is working now. Wonderful. I need to take we'll take that. Nope, because that'll cover our guest. I have to kind of fix some things. Like I said, I'm so used to doing this in my time of about 2 p.m. Mountain Standard. However, I kind of messed up a little bit. I messed up my times and I got them confused. I got them mixed up. So, but I want to say that there's this very special audience member here that I'm so happy that showed up. They know who they are. So that just fills me with happiness. So again, thank you guys for showing up and being here. And I apologize that, again, I think I said 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time yesterday, and I got things mixed up. I got things confused, and going forward, like, I'm gonna really make sure, like, just that's embarrassing. That's horribly embarrassing. So I'm so sorry about that. Most of all, I feel really bad for our guest, because our guest is a really good one today. He does a lot of fun streams, a lot of good work. You know, recently he hosted a panel, actually 2 panels. Thank you, Auth, for that can beaming me straight to the back of the head. Like, you have no idea how much I appreciate and love that. The concussion caused by aluminum and high fructose corn syrup water is honestly what fills me with gratitude. Sorry, where was I? Okay, cool. Thank you, Nico. Hell yeah, wonderful. Our wonderful guest finished the thing. That can straight teleported. It really did. I can't believe your local virus is here, also known as Nico Mirai EXE. The gang is all here, guys. But yeah, we're a little bit on a short leash today in terms of time. So what I'm thinking of doing is we're gonna call this episode 20, season 2, 28 28, and then the next one we're gonna do like 28.5, and we're gonna like pick this back up, just on a different day whenever our guest is like free and available. So yeah, where was I? So let's hop right into it, shall we? Today, we will be welcoming a drummer, which, fun fact, I saw one of their drumming streams for the first time. It was like, I think 2 days ago, something like that, and I was super impressed by it, so I wish I could have stayed a little longer. A drummer, a game developer, a voice actor, and most importantly, a casual VTuber-VTubing-casually. A variety streamer with multiple hobbies, a myriad of hyperfixations, and a full-time programming job, which I've done a little programming myself in the day. I like to think I'm very good at web design, back-end web design, and front-end web design, so I know a thing or two about that. Probably not as good, but don't ask me to do anything complex. Python and web design are kind of my only 2 coding things I know. It's surprising how he manages to have time for himself. I relate to that on a spiritual level. Hope you're ready to yap about anything and everything, because today's guest is the wonderful AKLTrifecta. Where are you? There you are. How are you doing, buddy? I appreciate you being here so last. Like, I told you 1 p.m. and then I said, yeah, can we do it for an hour? And I looked at my calendar and said, oh wait, no, can we do it in 15 minutes?
Yeah, nah, you are all good. It's whenever I have plans like these, like thankfully I'm the kind of person that when plans are made, I will like carve out a notable amount of time before and after, just in case. So
Now-
it's like you messaged me and you're like, okay, 15 minutes. Can we push it back like an hour or 15 minutes? And I'm just like,
Yeah, sure. And then 15
yeah,
minutes
man.
you're just like,
I'm just sitting here playing like Marvel Rivals. I'm good. I can kill time. I got it.
I appreciate your flexibility, and as I said, I'm more than happy to pick this kind of back up, just at a different time, because like being on call for a job is just something that tends to be very annoying. It's the best thing because then you get more money, but when you're just trying to live life and you have prior commitments, like all of a sudden it's like, hey, we need you to come in. I'm just like, you could have given me more than a day's notice. It's like, well, it wouldn't be on call if we gave you more than a day. It's like, you got me there. You got me there. Goobers, yes.
You get more money when you're on call? Nah.
Hell yeah, I get more money. You kidding me? That's time. That's time and a half. Right? That's overtime.
God, I wish I'm salary. So they're just like, nah, man.
So I'd rather.
Computers are down. Come fix them.
I personally would rather be salary, just because I'd rather have consistency and I'd have security in that regard, because hourly is not very fun. Like, not to mention overtime is okay. It's just that I'd rather have a job I don't have to worry about and I can do consistently, and then the pay is consistent, than be like, yes, will I get my hours this week? So, at least the job I work at, if I can get there, work with them as one of their staff members, that means that, you're guaranteed 40 hours a week. If you're not able to, if you are late by an hour, they're very flexible. So it's like, hey, if you're late by an hour, or you need to leave early or something like that, it's like, okay, just make up the time on a different day. Either come in earlier or stay later. So it's very flexible,
which is really good. Definitely,
it's very nice. It's very much a privilege. So enough about me. Enough about this. It's time we get into this, because we only have an hour left, and that is, I'm going to ask my first and my opinion, our most important question, and that is, Try. Who are you, and what is your story?
That's a good question. I ask myself that every day. So, hello. I am AKLTrifecta, like the intro said, drummer, game developer, voice actor, and usually casual VTuber, VTubing-casually. I am a full-time programmer by trade, but I like to do a multitude of different things for creative outlets. That includes things like streaming, a little bit of game dev work, voice acting, of course, and just really just making the most of what I can out of life, now that I've started to understand what a work-life balance actually is. But yeah, in terms of my story, in terms of my story, I've been streaming for about 7 years, I think. VTubing for about a little over 2. It just celebrated my second-ish anniversary.
Hey, congratulations! Mine's in September.
I actually don't remember when my 1.0 anniversary was, but when I debuted this model, I debuted this model around my birthday. Last year, which I am now officially 35. So
congratulations, happy birthday.
I am very old. I feel like I'm very old in the VTuber space.
You're only 10 years older than me. I just celebrated my 25th. So full decade.
In college 10 years ago. I graduated college then. It's just, oh my god.
I graduate at the end of this year. I'll be graduating at 25.
Let's go. I'm so fucking proud of you. Big congrats.
Thank you. I can't wait to finally be done and then go to paying my student loans and then going to do my master's in a couple of years.
Never mind. I rescind my graduation. Congratulations. But you got this, gamer.
Thank you. Mikey, I think, is saying, Mikey feels, I think, everything we're all feeling right, because that was one of the biggest things I saw. The moment I saw your channel, the moment we, after I saw your demo reel and all that, I checked you out, and I was like, I started following you. But the biggest draw, clearly, that I think people love is just your unique PNG style. The schmovement. It itches my little artsy brain, oh my god, as Mikey said.
I'm very, very happy, because, this is actually one of the things that I feel is one of my biggest selling points, I guess. Like, I never really considered it a selling point beforehand. But like, I realize that a lot of PNG tubers are normally like static, and like that's not a bad thing. You know, that's generally what PNG tubing is.
Yes.
But a friend of mine, Color Brews, who's my major artist and actually the artist behind this model, it showed me a different program called LandyTube, which was made by a fellow person in the furry community. Their name is Landy, and they literally made this PNG tubing engine from like the ground up in a program called Sammy. And I spent a little bit of time.
Okay.
Yeah. I spent a little bit of time learning it, and I've started to really learn the ins and outs of Sammy myself, so I can start doing like more unique stream interactions. But in general, just controlling this PNG tuber, the biggest question that I'm asked a lot of times is people are like, did you get it to where like somehow like the microphone or something, like the program can like read your emotions, and like, because you're able to like switch emotions on a dime? And I'm like, yeah, that's just me hitting my stream deck. And
that was the biggest question. I was like, do you just have a hand continuously on just your stream deck as you're playing and doing this, or
yes.
is like, but you're playing a game like Monster Hunter Wilds?
I just switch my hands really fast and pray that my muscle memory hits the right button. I recently upgraded to a Stream Deck XL, so the muscle memory is not as good, but I'm relearning it. It's really good. It's also really funny when I'm playing fighting games and I'm trying to do like strings and combos, but I also want to react. So I'm like, okay, hold on. Let me do this string. I have like 6 frames to hit this emotion and then back to my combo. It's pretty crazy. Also, the person that just put in, just chatted, Everlasting Breaststrokes, that is my wife. That is my partner. She is probably out getting her car fixed right now, actually.
I see.
But yeah,
that's just the amount of just technical dexterity to hop back and forth of just running this model. I can only imagine just after a stream, you're just like, all right, time to do the hand warm ups. You know, stretching. Got to make sure that not cramping up. You know, carpal tunnel and all that, because that requires so much dedication to try and do.
It's funny because like people have mentioned that before, and I'm just like, I don't get, like, what do you mean? I'm just hitting buttons. Like, one of my like the other thing that I love is that I do have states specific to when I'm gaming. So
yeah.
I do have my like controller states when I want to actually game, but I love having the chatting states as well. It's honestly part of the reason why I've been like really excited to like join any fucking podcast that will have me, because I'm just like, let me show this off. I want to show people that being a PNG tuber is more than just like it can be more than just 1 or 2 static images on a screen. Like, if you put in the effort, you can have just as much life, just as much expression, if not more so, than a standard live 2D. Like again, I'm not saying that one is better than the other. It's just
it's a different medium.
What I like to do. Yeah, exactly. It's a different medium, and I personally just love the way that PNG tubers can be very expressive.
I think that's what's really interesting these days about what we're seeing when it comes to what we're seeing with digital mediums happening, and especially within VTubing. Like, VTubing has exploded in the past couple of years. And the thing is, when I first started, like, prior to this, I was not gonna be a streamer. I'm like, my self-confidence, my self-esteem, I'm like, I can't be on camera, and like, I think I'm I'm an okay person, you know. It's just that my self-esteem's just like, no, I can't be in front of camera performing like that. I'm the person behind the camera. And so when I found out about VTubing, I found out all about this. I'm like, okay, maybe this could be something I do. And I started doing this as a joke, and now look where we are.
And now you're here.
And now I'm here.
Full-fledged VTubing studio.
Full-fledged VTubing studio.
That's
That's what we. Thank you. I'm glad you see the couch is custom made. We got those things embroidered. We got those pillows embroidered. You know, the desk, we call this the Minecraft desk. So what I think I might do is I might see about turning this desk into a sticker. You know,
that'd be adorable.
Like, oh my goodness, it's just the Minecraft desk is so. But
you could turn it into like a fridge magnet and have like a bunch of different accessories.
That's such a fun idea. I never thought about that. You recreate the VOD set whatever way you'd like.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay. Guys, this is what VTubing is about: is finding random people, making friends, and saying, how can we make our content better?
how do we just have fun with it?
So going back to the whole VTubing thing, you know. For the longest time, there's always been this, like, you know, what should I do? Should I do 3D tubing? Should I do 2D tubing? Should I do PNG tubing? What should I do? Because VTubing offers that accessibility that a lot of other art mediums and a lot of other content creation mediums don't have. You know, once you decided on that PNG tubing, did you make any specific goals to try and be like, I'm going to show people that PNG tubing is more than just, yes, I am simply just a face that reacts on screen? Because, like, where's my little thing? Let's see. Because if we get rid of my thing right there, I could have sworn I had like a... Is this one? Where is it? Maybe it's this one? Where is it? I could have sworn I had a... Okay, maybe I don't. Maybe I got rid of it. Basically, I had my own PNG right there I could swap to. My whole point being is that... what were you trying to... maybe goals you're trying to accomplish as being a PNG tuber as opposed to being a 2D tuber?
So for me, my whole journey as a streamer is, so for the first like 5 years, 5 years or so of streaming, I was in front of a webcam, or actually even before that, I just streamed like directly off of my PS4 with like the shittiest fucking one headphone garbled up fucking game mic. But after that, and I actually got a laptop. I got you know, Streamlabs OBS. I got slobs, and you know, started going into actually having a very basic layout, and doing the webcams. That's when I started to really get into streaming, and then the pandemic hit. And specifically, you know, with lockdown and everything, I'm like, I don't want to being locked up in you know, the house all day. I don't want to have to get dressed to be in front of a webcam to stream. I just want to be lazy. I just want to play video games. And I'm like,
that's
you know,
an expression I have not seen. That hold on,
the pouty one.
I have not seen that because I love the other one. I like my favorite one is like, where was it? It was one right before, like the hold the hand out kind of thing. No, not that one. Not that one.
This guy.
No, it was the other one.
This guy.
I don't know why I relate to that one on a spiritual level, because every time you whip that, it's like, but why would you do that? Why? Kind of like mentality. Sorry.
When I first requested this specific state from Color Brews, I specifically said, I want this to be my "Are you fucking kidding me?" face. Are you seeing this? But yeah, no, the two ones that I don't normally use as often are the pouty one, and whenever people tell me to hydrate, I got a little.
Oh, that's adorable.
Got a little sippy.
A little sippy juice and apple juice.
But yeah, I do love me some apple juice.
It's a good.
But what we talking about?
The
big brain.
Yeah, PNG tubing.
PNG tubing. Right. I was too lazy for clothes, and so I'm like, all right. You know what works? PNG tubing. And I talked to a friend of mine. I talked to Color, and got a very basic like 2-frame model to start. And I learned about this other software called VOD, which was it allowed you to do stuff like add the bounces like that I have when I'm really excited, or like the general sway when I'm, you know, just normally talking. But it didn't have like any of the transition frames or anything like that. It didn't have like the lip syncing, the quote unquote lip syncing movement. It was just 2 states. And you could switch between different emotions. So I had different emotions made eventually. and I was like, yeah, no, this is really good. I like this. This is people are liking the PNG tubing. I'm liking the freedom of not needing to wear a shirt in front of a camera anymore, or like the other. I make jokes about like not having to wear a shirt in front of camera, which is like half true whenever I'm working from home. But the other thing is I'm not the best at like actually emoting on camera.
Sure.
For like if it's a sad scene, or if it's like, or if I'm like, you know, really worked up, like I'll get loud, but like emotion wise, it's like I feel like it doesn't show as much as it could. So being able to do that through a PNG instead and really exaggerate the emotions to make it match my voice and how I vocally react, I found has been a really good matchup. And then after I found out about LandyTube and the extra little bells and whistles that it has, it was a no-brainer. I'm like, no, I've got to use this. It's great. And again, the biggest thing that I've wanted to do ever since transitioning to this model is just showing people the power of like, yeah, this is a 2D, but this is a 2D that has a lot of fucking work put into it. And you know, a PNG tuber does not have to be a stepping stone.
I was gonna say, I think did you take any inspiration from a content creator named Shindigs?
I did not actually. But
no. Okay. So for those that don't know, your reason, heck yeah, brushstroke. Let's go. So a content creator by the name of Shindigs, he's a VTuber as well. He uses a PNG tuber, and he runs things a lot like you do, but most of his stuff is in Sammy as well. And he actually has a couple tutorials. It's like, hey, if you want to make your PNG more expressive, a little more fun, you know, stuff like that, you know, there are a couple, you know, try and download Sammy and use Sammy, but there are plenty of plugins. Like, here are some plugins you can use that like voice activate thing. Like the moment you speak in OBS, it registers that it moves your model up and down. It can give you that little sway, you know. And so, but my point being is that that's another content creator that has built his thing on being a PNG tuber. And I encourage you guys to go check out Try's channel here, but to go check out a guy named Shindigs. Very interesting, because it means I could be in the room without being on camera. Like I said, I would not be streaming with a camera on.
Yeah, that is the other reason, because sometimes my wife would come downstairs to like either make a meal or to like do something really quick, and she didn't want to be in the background either, because she doesn't want to be in the background, or like she just got out of the shower and she's, you know, in her pajamas or something and doesn't want to be seen. So it's like, okay, like absolutely, and you just kind of go, you just kind of make it. You make it work, pretty much.
What is like it they say? Country girls make do.
Yeah, honest to God, that's pretty much what it is. Like between the fact that I use a PNG tuber to allow my spouse a little bit more freedom and not like lock down the entire downstairs, to even doing what I do now, which is streaming all of this off of a laptop in my living room. I've had so many people be like, Ackle, why don't you just get a PC rig so that you're not worried about like memory and stuff? And I'm like, I get it, but also I have talked to my wife and we've agreed that I am not allowed to turn the downstairs living room into like a full-on streaming room. Yeah. So I just can't. I can't do it. And so I just
but that's respectable.
Get a
that's
laptop
very admirable.
And I make it work.
It's very admirable, especially just having then you lost your computer. It's very admirable, especially since I know a lot of content creators, especially VTubers these days, they tend to neglect a lot of the not neglect, excuse me. It's just that people tend to forget about the relationship aspect of a lot of content creators, and so it's good to hear that you're making it work, and you're just it's a good partner collaborative effort between you and your partner.
No, honestly, like not to bring a negative work back into the limelight, but like honestly, I feel like you're kind of right. Like there's a lot of work that gets put into doing stuff like VTubing and content creation, and you know, I've had people ask me like, Ackle, your model's really good. You're apparently really good with an audience. Like you could, if you really wanted to, you probably could become like a pretty big streamer and like maybe like a full-time, like wouldn't you want to try grinding for that and see those big numbers? And to that I say, my 6-figure salary says different. I'm okay with where I'm at right now.
I respect it.
I have a house to hold down, and you know, it's great, and I do want to spend a lot of time. Like I love spending a lot of time on hobbies and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I do still need to make time to actually spend time with my wife, because Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays when I'm streaming, the pattern is she comes home, I make dinner. Or sorry, not me. I don't make dinner. I eat dinner. I'm the eater. She makes dinner, and then we have like an hour and a half together, and then I stream from 7 to like 11. And then I go to bed. Half of the time I end up sleeping downstairs because I play video games until I get really sleepy and just pass it on the couch, and that's it. But
that's
everything else is, like, so I try and whenever like there's a like on a Wednesdays or Fridays or like even like the weekends, I specifically try and make some time to spend with my wife, and I've had to do that. I've had to like sacrifice potential collabs and whatnot, or like potential partnerships, and it's just like it sucks. But it's just a balancing act.
It's a hobby, and that's the thing. Like the two things I want to mention that I think are very applicable in this situation is, one, you know, by all accounts, you're technically a bigger VTuber, you know, a bigger content creator. 3.3K followers here on Twitch. That's a big thing. And
it's really crazy. I didn't even think I'd ever hit that number. I remember being at TwitchCon 2019, and I was passing out my little business cards to people, and I was awestruck at anybody who was like, I have over 1,000 followers. I'm sitting there with like my 102 or whatever, and I'm just like, oh my god, I don't know if I'll ever be able to get four digits of followers one day. And little did I know, 6 years later, you know what, fuck it, we ball.
that's the thing when it comes to the size of a content creator. Numbers don't mean anything. The amount of followers don't mean anything. It's simply just the community you cultivate and just how you are, because there's like a couple people I know that have like 7K, that have 10K followers here on Twitch, and they average like 20 to 30 people. So, you know, measuring of success should not be done by follower size. It should be by the quality of the stream and by the quality of the streamer, because, you know, there are those who have
absolutely.
Like, because the thing is, I'm hoping to reach 1K by the end of the year. I'd love to do that, but at the same time, I'm like, I made the commitment to myself, and that was the other point I want to touch on, is especially about time and balancing, is ever since the start of this new semester that happened at the end of April, ever since it happened, and I said, hey guys, I'm not putting out a stream schedule anymore unless I really feel like streaming this week. I'm not going to be just doing any, like, I'm still planning and making things in the background, but I'm not making a commitment to basically being... Why'd you say so? You'll get... No, Grease, please! I don't need more Grease accounts following me, please! No, I don't... So
Monkey paw curls.
So Grease here, one, has been following me for very long. If we actually hit exclamation point follow age and then go like this, they've been following for a year and 5 months. Now understand that Greece, for a funny thing, made like 2 or 3 other accounts that was Greece and then like 3 different numbers or whatever, just for the fun of it. And so they have a habit of just doing that. It's just like all of a sudden the more Greece is in chat. It's just the funniest thing. Sorry, Greece, you get Greece 500. So anyway, but ever since I made the commitment, I said, hey guys, I'm not going to be announcing my streams. I'm not going to be like saying any of this stuff right here. Yeah, 1 year and 5 months. That is how long I've been streaming.
And you 1 year and 5 months, and you are already at 700 followers, which is legitimately hella fucking impressive.
You're too kind. Thank you. You are far too kind. I'd like to think that people just they tune in for the VOD, they follow because of my guests, and they forget, or they like the voiceover content that I do, and then follow like, oh, that's how I can do it, and they forget. I'm like, where'd you come from? Who are you? These people?
I mean, if it gets people in the door, it gets people in the door. That's part of the reason why I like doing a variety of things versus just fixating on one. Like I'll definitely fixate on certain games. Looking at you, Monster Hunter and Grand Blue Versus, because dear God, I love both of those right now. But it's like I don't have the I don't have the attention span to like focus on one specific game and be like, I'm gonna be, you know, this content creator and like get a lot of the audience from that. I'm like, nah, I'd rather have a wide variety of people.
Yeah.
Because the people who come and stay tend to stay because of who I am and not specifically because of what I'm playing.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Like, I tell people, like, there's nothing wrong with sorry, Apex Legend player. Yo, Apex Legend player. Hey, I'm just saying, I have a Discord server, Apex Legend player. I've been playing Apex with my community. I'm just saying, if you ever want to play Apex.
Yo, who you play?
Oh, I just smacked my mic. So so recently I made well, for the longest time, Loba and Mirage are my 2 mains.
Ooh,
however,
nice.
I now main the new character Sparrow because I just love the way he feels. I love the his abilities, and just I've never felt like I've played better than with Sparrow. So other than that, you know, if Sparrow's taken, I'll play Mirage or I'll play Loba. So you know, and it's a nice wide variety of things. Apex leggings, yes, Mikey. Mikey, do you play Apex? I want to get a bunch of people to play Apex with and do like an Apex tournament.
That'd be fun.
So I'm currently organizing 2 other tournaments. I'm going to organize a Marvel Rivals tournament with the cash prize. So, yeah, that's a thing. Like, so going back to the, Mikey, where are you at? Where are you at? All right, guys, we're doing community Apex night. I'm not good at it, but I like the Apex of leggings. Hell yeah. Once I made the commitment and I said, I'm here, home slice. Yeah, but you're a busy snow leopard. Once I made the commitment, I said, I'm going to stream when I feel like it. That's when my content started to feel better. It started to feel more organic. It started to feel less manufactured, less produced. And I've had more motivation and more passion for doing a lot of the events I do. Because as you know that I do a bunch of events, especially voice acting related.
You very much do. And,
like, when you do so many, not too busy for my sillies, man. Hell yeah. Being like, with how much I've done it and worked for it, it's, thank you for the Zarbon moan. Also, for all y'all in chat, I'm gonna give you a little special thing. Basically, my content has just been so much better because of it. Because I'm streaming when I feel like it. I don't feel constrained. I don't feel like, good lord.
You don't feel pressured.
I don't feel pressured. Holy cow!
Monsieur, the frame rate.
No, my frame rate, it goes straight into the sun. Just remember, I learned from the Russian Badger. If you're hitting 60 FPS on your computer, it takes 16 milliseconds for that frame to render, to happen. Just break everything. Every little thing takes 16 milliseconds to happen and to render and to process. So if you have a bunch of things rendering working at 60 milliseconds, that's how you crash a computer. Welcome to the DDoS. Wait, don't do that.
I actually learned I had to turn down my own Kappa Gen emote alerts because I made a mistake when I originally put them up, and I'm just now starting to pay for it.
Oh really? That's funny. Wait a minute. I also realized I have a new animated emote that I can put in. I'll do that in a moment. But anyway, sorry. All this in mind, streaming when you want to and when you feel like it has been nothing but a godsend. And that's what people, I think, should understand, is you've got that down to a T. Look how much you've grown. It's taken 8 years to get to the point where you are. But still, you stream because you feel like it. You do it because you want to, and that's how I do it now. Is I do it because I want to.
Granted, I am the type of person who needs a rigid schedule. So like one of my big things is I have streamed consistently on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays for like the past 8 years. But people have been like, "How the hell do you stay so consistent?" And it's not because I don't see my streams as like, all right, I need to stream this day. It's okay, I've had a really busy day of work. I just had dinner. I now get to have 4 hours to myself that I dedicate to actually playing games that I really enjoy. So like getting to play like pretty much any of my at this point, any of my story-driven games that I play, any of my long-form games, the only time that I get to play those types of games are usually when I'm streaming.
Once you figure out how you want to approach your streams and your gaming content, like that's when you start to really evaluate, okay, why am I doing this? What's going on? Because I think for me the biggest piece of advice, or whether or not it's advice or not, just the biggest realization I came to when it was about content is this. It's, if you are in a mindset where you're continuously thinking about how can I make money off of this, that is when you start to lose passion. Because I learned, like, listening to an episode of Trash Taste way back when, it was a matter of one of the guys was talking about how he loves traveling, and just, you know, whenever he's going out and about, he thought to himself, oh, this is fun, how can I make money off of this? And to him, he realized that that's a terrible mindset to have as a content creator. Because the moment you start to think about, okay, how can I make money off of this, now you're not doing this for the love of it, now you're doing this on how to make money. And not every hobby needs to be a side hustle. Thank you. I'm paying that.
Like so funnily enough, I think it was in 2021 where I ended up being really curious, and there was like this Twitter thread that was up, and I was curious, so I did some very rough math at the time, because obviously the Twitch split and the price of Twitch subs have changed since 2021. But using the old math, so and just specifically using tier 1 subs as like the metric, in order to make the same amount as a minimum wage employee in America, which I think is like $7.25 or $8.25 an hour, while also making the including of self-employment tax, and also the amount of money that you would generally need to pay for a health insurance program as well. You need like 544 subs a month to make minimum wage. And I don't know a lot of streamers who can pull in 541 tier 1 subs every month.
I think the most I've had at one point was I think like 95, and that was after an event to raise money to pay my animators for the current project I'm doing. And mind you, this current project that I have, my Heroes vs. Villains event, has been being worked on since late November, early December. I have 2 animators that I'm working with, including my, I'm storyboarding with them, and I'm giving it to them, and they're working on it, and they also have their own personal lives. Not to mention, I'm also working. Who the heck? Where did those come from? Huh? Sorry, the Dr. Peppers are being thrown, or the cans are being thrown. I have no idea where they came from. Regardless,
nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Like, in this project, I have 4 different professional Crunchyroll voice actors working on this project. And for 2 more upcoming projects, you gained a sub, Dingus. It didn't pop up. Thank you for whoever subbed. It just didn't pop up. It made me
it's all right.
Oh, it was you.
As a streamer, we embrace the scuff.
We do. We embrace the scuff.
How it.
But my whole point being is that, like, that amount of money I got in 2 months, which was like about $400 to $500 for 2 months, which is November and December, all of that went to paying my animators for that, and then working with the Crunchyroll voice actors right now. But because of it, like, because of that moment, now I have 2 more projects in the work. There's a visual novel that I'm making that are also going to have some of those VAs, and for an upcoming return voiceover showdown. If you remember the first one I did last year, where people competed live on stream, that's making a comeback, and 2 of the guests are also going to be Crunchyroll VAs. So,
yo.
I'm really excited. Like, for those that are here, I haven't talked about as much. I made sure not to talk about as much. I don't mind giving a little sneak preview about it. It's going to be a voiceover competition, like it was my very first VTuber voiceover showdown, where 8 people are going to be pitted against each other, and they're going to be 8 people who are going to be selected are going to be given 2 scripts. They're going to record those scripts. We're going to see and chat, and then the judges are going to judge live. 8 people will be cut down to 4, and 4 people cut down to 2, and the last 2 people are going to be dubbing a thing live on stream, with the winner getting a brand new microphone and audio interface.
Oh, that's so heckin' cool.
So, and if they happen to have gear that's better than what I'm offering, then I'm going to give it to them with the expectation of they're going to give it to somebody in their community that needs it. So
yeah, that's honestly a good way to do it.
So I'm really excited about that. Not to mention I'm hoping to be working with Merriweather Media on making hopefully making the animatics for that. So a little bit of a plunk there. Twitch being broken for some reason. No way. Twitch is perfect. It's a perfect little egg. So as we're starting to get a little closer to the end here, and we'll have, I'm inclined to I'll bring you back, when you're free, if that's the case, on your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or when you want to come back on a Saturday. We can plan that.
I'll be honest, if I might have to double check my schedule, but heck, I might be free tomorrow.
I would be free tomorrow. I'd be free tomorrow. We can talk about that.
Fuck it, part 2.
Part 2. Part 2.
Part 2.
Yeah, part 2. So, but yeah, just all this in mind, because there's still so much stuff I want to talk about. I want to talk about you, your voice acting stuff. I want to talk about you with your Capcom Creator Club. I want to talk about your drumming stuff, because there's so much I want to talk about. We've just had so much fun just talking about just you personally. This is what I'll ask, and then we'll go into our last 10 questions, because at this point, I think I might just say, hey, this is a 1-hour show, but I leave it open to be 2 hours if you want. I think that just might be good going forward, because every time it's not like maybe 1 hour is the wrong way to go about this, because clearly we just have such good conversations. It goes past an hour.
It's such a, honestly though, it's such a good problem to have. Of just,
it's a great
oh my
problem.
God, all right, Ever actually just reminded me. I forgot we have plumbers coming in noon to 3. So tomorrow might not.
That's
be
me. I'm the plumber.
Maybe next week Saturday.
I can make that. Let me look at my calendar before I start making commitments I can't do.
Hey, if not that one, worst comes to worst.
Saturday's completely.
We can just,
I'll
we
get back
can
to you. Mhm.
yeah, we can discuss it in DMs. We can make something work.
Because if you play Monster Hunter Wilds, I don't mind popping in for that for stream. So
Yeah.
talking about that, I need to get through a lot of the stuff because I finally beat the story. I just need to do all the other stuff now.
Oh, that's right. We do have after 3 p.m. my time, so that's what 4 your time, I believe. After 4
I'm
p.m.
well
so
acquainted with your time zone and where you are, friend.
So if you're fine with a slightly later VOD part 2 tomorrow, we could make it work.
Hey, I feel it. Like 6 p.m. is honestly, that's one of my favorite times to do the VOD. Is just 6 p.m. my time. So it's just a nice like.
That's 5 p.m. my time, so that'll be like right before dinner. We'll yap for a bit, and then me and the wife will go get dinner. And yeah, I think that'll be good.
Well, this is what I'll ask you then. We'll go on our last 10 questions because I didn't mention that because we didn't have our meeting because my schedule's been so, for lack of a better phrase, effed up. So. If there was something that we haven't talked about yet of those things, your drumming, your voice acting, Capcom creator and all that, what is it you'd want to talk about most of all next time we speak?
I think honestly leading with voice acting and then going into Capcom creator would be like the two biggest things, because like those are definitely two of the big things that I feel are my biggest hyperfixations right now.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not putting as many auditions right now in as I should. I'm on like a small audition hiatus because life and again, like, just I like streaming being my main creative outlet, and it's good. But that's not to say that I don't, want to put in auditions. I did put in a couple of auditions for some indie games recently. Didn't get them, but still very proud. Like, I've at least gotten to the point. I'm at least very proud of the fact that when the time comes and I get the spoons to actually audition, I can get a decent take done, cut, and recorded and sent out in like 15 minutes now, where like before it would have to be like it would be a whole ordeal of like, I don't like that take, actually, let me go back in the booth and do like another because it needs to be perfect. And now it's like, no, they're good takes, they don't need to be perfect. They're either gonna like my voice or they're not, honestly. So let me just, I like these takes, they're really solid, and just draft an email and get it out.
Exactly. It's just like when it comes to demo reels, that's what I tell people is, actually, I'll save my last 10 questions for next time. So we can, that way we can just kind of talk a little bit, and then once 2:15 hits,
you could even showcase my demo reel next time as well.
Well, I wish I could do the Doki bird, just the haha. I mean, yeah, I don't mind doing that at all, because so a lot of the content, a lot of the audience I've built up thus far has been because of my audio and voiceover work, and because of that, like, I feel like that'd be a fantastic thing to show people, because there's something I'm actually going to be redoing my demo reel, perhaps in 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, so because I'll finally have the studio that I work at. We have all the bougie audio equipment, all the professional stuff, because I work for, and I make this clear, I work for my school. But the thing is, my school, we do broadcasts, we do audio recordings for a bunch of other independent things. And so, like, just 2 weeks, just last week, we had this very famous, millions of subs and views on YouTube country singer, like, very famous country singer, come to perform, that I was mixing the audio for. So, well, it's my university, we still do very professional work. And so in 2 or 3 weeks, I'll be able to use our nice, make my demo with the nice Neumann U87.
Oh, let's go. I'm sitting here like, it's going to be a Neumann, isn't it?
It's going to be a Neumann.
Yeah. So
I'm really excited. I'm just needing to polish up the scripts, because that's the scripts are the hardest part because, like, I always tell people, when it comes to making a demo reel, you can make your own demo reel. By all means, you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. If people tell you have to spend $1,000 to make a demo reel, they're cheating you. They're lying to you. You don't.
Yeah.
It helps. It helps. Don't get me wrong. When it comes to making,
did I spend $1,000 on my demo reel? Yes, but also I feel like it does. Like, that's part of the reason why, even though I feel like it doesn't exemplify everything that I can do now, it's still very well done, and it still works very well. And I'm like, yeah, no, it speaks for itself still.
There's a reason I point to Alex Lee as a good standard of you don't need the latest and greatest stuff. No, like when I say Alex Lee, if it isn't Cole, how are you doing, Cole? For those who don't know, Alex Lee has been an up-and-coming voice actor who's been getting a lot of success, but that's because of his talent, his hard work, and his tenacity. His most famous roles have been his most famous roles have been Zenitsu in Demon Slayer, that one aloof guy in Danadan recently, the main character in Solo Leveling, you know, what is it, Mikey in
the protagonist in Persona 3 Reload.
Oh, that's right.
Luke from Street Fighter 6.
Yeah. And so, one of the guys in the Dragon Ball not superheroes, maybe it's superheroes. Regardless, like the name of it, the latest one, Schmozer, one of our other favorite German VTubers. Hell yeah.
Ooh.
When Alex Lee was trying to get into voice acting, he made his own demo reel. He recorded himself, he edited himself, he wrote it himself, and he sent it to every possible agency he could think of. And he moved to Los Angeles and did that from Canada. And he was all on his own, and he was basically flat broke. And he tried all he could. And now I'm not saying this is what you need to do. I'm not saying don't bother and don't call like agencies over and over again saying, hey, can you give me a shot? Can you give me a shot? Don't do that. Like, that's not something that is an appropriate behavior. That's one way you get blacklisted. It's just, it happened to work out for him. But my point being is that, you know, he made his own, and it was what allowed him to get that first audition, and the rest is history. And so if you're debating whether or not to make a demo reel, give it a shot and try it. If you have previous work you've done, use that in your demo reel. If you don't have that, just make it. Just do it. So it's Silver. What's going on, Silver? Wish you all a nice weekend. Thank you, Schmoozer. I'm having a great weekend.
Yeah. Hope you're having a good weekend too.
Just get out there and do it. That's the most important thing. Voiceover is really fun. If you treat it like a hobby, it will stay a hobby. If you treat it like a job in how you want to work at it, then you will start to get that work. So there's nothing wrong with either. There's nothing wrong with either. There's very few people in the world who can make it full time as a voice actor. You know, Troy Baker is one of those people.
We actually talked about this a little bit. So I'm one of my biggest inspirations, and one of my recently closest friends is a voice actor by the name of Sean Chiplock. He does the voice for Rivali in
Isn't
Breath
he
of the
Gen?
Wild.
Or not Gen. Isn't he Chrome in
No.
who am I thinking?
No, I don't think so.
I thought he was I thought he was in Dr. Stone.
I don't remember. He might be. I will admit I don't watch Dr. Stone. I actually don't.
You don't watch Dr. Stone?
No, I don't.
How dare you?
To be fair, I do watch fuck.
See, yeah, Dr.
Oh my
Stone
God,
is goated. How dare you?
It is. It definitely is. No, why can't I think of the fucking name?
He was Kinger in Amazing Digital Circus.
Yeah, he's King of Major Digital Circus. He's also Lucilius in Grand Blue, and he's Subaru in ReZero is like his biggest role. But for the life of me, the Dr. Pepper anime.
The Dr. Pepper anime
with the time traveling guy. It's not Psychopath.
Erased?
But my brain is telling me it's Psychopath, and I know it's fucking wrong.
Erased?
No, it's not Erased. It's
time traveling.
Dr. Hoin Kyoma. He puts a banana in a microwave.
He's not in he's not like
Steins Gate.
It is Steins Gate is the one you're talking about, but who is he in Steins Gate?
He's not in Steins Gate. No. I was gonna make a segue of like the only Doctor anime that I've watched is like Steins Gate, that one.
Freaking love
Dr.
Steins Gate.
Hoing Kilma.
I could talk all day about J. Michael Tatum. He's the kindest person. I met him a couple times. He's such a... He's one of my favorites.
No,
and just inspiration for me.
A lot of voice actors, it really is crazy to think, but like, because it's really easy to obviously get starstruck by like a lot of voice actors, regardless of if they're dub or sub, but they literally are they're just people. They're just people. They're just 9 times out of 10 they're silly little people that enjoy the same stuff that we do. That all they're doing is they're just doing their job. Their job just happens to be more public facing than a lot of what we do.
Yeah, like being able to.
That's it though.
As I've been working with professional voice actors these days, it's been thank you for that follow. Isn't that your lovely wife?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, just it's learning to treat. Oh, it's Matt Shipman who I'm thinking about. That was who I was thinking about. I don't know why I was thinking Sean Chiplock. Probably the sound. But yeah, just at the end of the day, they're just people. You know, actors on the other hand, you ever eat with one? Oh gosh. That's an old Broadway joke. That's an old Broadway joke. Actors, am I right? You ever eat with one? Anyway.
Oh my god, I'm so I didn't finish my statement. I got derailed trying to figure out Steins Gate. Sorry.
Yeah.
The thing that Sean Chiplock said
full time
before is that like 11 to 13% of voice actors in this industry are able to work full time, and he is one of the lucky few who is part of that 11 to 13%.
Most likely Alex Lee
everybody else
is another one.
Yeah, exactly. And everybody else has some sort of supplementary income, you know, whether it's another job or like maybe they're doing content creation, because like Alejandro Saab does the voice work but also does a lot on like the streaming side as well.
Yeah, it's if you want to work in voiceover stuff like that, it's always good to have like some secondary skills that you can do. I do voiceover, but but audio engineering is my main thing. Now, if I decide to ever work for Crunchyroll, thing is I'd have to choose. I can't be a voice actor and an audio engineer, and I can't be an audio engineer and a voice actor. I have to be one or the other with them. So
gotta be great if you could be both, though. That'd be amazing.
There are very few exceptions. But yeah, that is something we can continue next time we have you here. And why does somebody put
28.5?
Hell yeah! Not to mention somebody in my server posted a Weezer meme. They know who they are. Okay, everyone's using a lick emote in my server. All right, friends.
Good.
This has been fun. This has been fantastic. But me and my normally good time management skills today decided to backfire because I was used to my own routine. So alas, we must cut this short. However, we shall have this again either tomorrow or we'll have it later in the week. So let me see if there's somebody we can raid today. Since it is this isn't like a full thing, I think either we can raid out, or we could probably just like end it here, and I don't mind that. So I think that just might be a little better. It's just to end it here. But
it is your show. It is
our show. You're the reason the show. You and every other guest are the reason why the show works. So you know, I want to make it explicitly clear. But what did you say? Ackle? Is that what people call you?
Yeah, Ackle. That is not just a. That is not. Funnily enough, that is not just a shortening of AKL. That is also my persona name. So it all works out very well.
Well then, Ackle, I appreciate you joining me here. I wish it could be a little longer, but alas,
that's what part 2's for.
My smooth brain. You see how smooth it is. You see that scar on my forehead. That is proof of my smooth brain.
From the smoothing process.
The smoothing. I have that actual scar on my forehead. Fun fact. So I got the smooth brain, so I will plan that a little better. But thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you can join me next time. Whether or not we're streaming tomorrow with this again or later in the week, you guys will be the first to know. With that in mind, thank you, Ackle, and let me just hit a last little shout out here. There we are. Make sure to go give them a follow. If you're not following me on YouTube, consider following me there because I'll post this VOD there. And if we hit 1K by the end of the year, at least, hopefully it's before then, on YouTube, I will finally play Marvel Rivals on stream. So, and a lot of people want me to do that.
Gotta make it happen.
And if you're not a part of my Discord, consider joining my Discord. We were above 400, and now we're back down below 400, so, here we are. So consider joining. There's a lot of fun stuff you can do. You can talk to me, talk to my guests, and you can also take part in a lot of other fun stuff we get. So, with that in mind, my name is Val. This has been AKLTrifecta or AKL. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I hope to see you next time. Sound good? Sound good. All right, bye-bye!
Bye-bye.